They secretly pulled off a switch at my wedding, and everyone went along with it. We rented a B&B for our wedding, surrounded by friends and my fiancé, Liam's family. But standing at the altar, he seemed off. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. His hands were clammy, and his voice shook. It was nothing like the man I'd loved for 5 years. I assumed he was just nervous because his identical twin, Ethan, who was his best man, was a no-show. The next morning, his aunt, tipsy on mimosas, leaned over and said, "I still can't believe they pulled it off." My smile froze. "Pulled what off?" I asked, but she quickly changed the subject. When I asked Liam, he just said she was old and confused. A week later, I was putting away his wedding suit when a note fell out of the pocket. In unfamiliar handwriting, it read, "You looked great up there. You always do a better job at pretending to be him." My blood ran cold. I confronted Liam again. This time, he got angry, defensive. He accused me of being paranoid and cruelly said, "You never had a family, so you don't understand a bond like ours." That's when I felt the first crack in our foundation. I couldn't let it go, so I called his cousin, who finally admitted the truth. Liam had been too hungover for the ceremony, so his brother, Ethan, took his place. She insisted it was just for the pictures. I felt sick, but the more I dug, the worse it got. I remembered small inconsistencies over the years, how he'd forget the name of my best friend or where we kept the salt. Then I found Ethan's gym pass in Liam's drawer. The pieces clicked into place. When I confronted him with everything, he didn't deny it. He said, "It was harmless. I needed a break." I asked him how long it had been going on. His answer shattered my world. He said, since the beginning. They had been switching places for years, intimately. I hadn't married one man. I had unknowingly been in a relationship with 2. I told him to get out. Days later, his brother Ethan showed up, apologized, and said he'd always loved me, even asking me out on a proper date once the divorce was final. I laughed in his face, then cried, and immediately called my lawyer. We're filing for an annulment. My lawyer says the marriage might not even be legal since I married an imposter. Now I'm in therapy trying to forgive myself for not seeing the signs. But when you've never had a family, you cling to the first person who offers you stability. I've learned a painful lesson. You don't need to know exactly who broke you to walk away. You just need to know you deserve better.